Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 3 of the Command Tower, the podcast dedicated to all things Commander. As usual, I'm your host, Dan, and I have my two co-hosts, I guess I could call them, along with me today. We have Adam.
Hello.
And we have Thomas.
Good day to you.
Thank you. So, the first subject we're going to talk about today is the Commander's Arsenal release. It was a couple of years ago now, but we thought we're going to bring it up here today. We're going to talk about what's right with it and what we feel is wrong with it and what we would quite like to see in version 2. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's get started.
So, yeah, I mean, this obviously we intend to review a lot of the sealed products over the time of doing these podcasts. We've mainly opted for this one first because I've just bought one. So that was what prompted it to come up. So what we've done is pretty much had a quick run through and have a chat over what cards there are in there that we were unsure of. So who wants to take a start on that with taking a pick at some of the cards?
I'm sure I might as well start here. Commander's Arsenal. It's a bit of nothing really. If you like, when you look through it, so you start with the oversized cards, and they're essentially just useless pieces of cardboard. They're very good glass mats, but apart from that, they're just novelty. That's all they really are, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, I don't know anyone that purposely actually outright uses them, and I'm currently using the Sliver Queen one because my Sliver Queen is off being altered by Mr. Shy at the moment. So I currently use mine as a stand-in because I can't bother to get another Slither Queen just for the period that it's away for. But I mean, I must have piles of these damn things knocking around my house now, and I don't use any of them.
The only thing I can see them like being used for is like if your commander gets tucked, you have to try and remember how many times it's being summoned. But at that point, it's kind of like you may not see your commander again, or you're just going to remember. It's not the hardest thing to remember.
No, that's just using one for the sake of using one as well. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well,
You just have to make sure you don't pick up the dice that was sort of annotating your commander to say how many times have been summoned.
Yeah.
It's not like, we are Magic players. Some of us are idiots, but we're not all that bad.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, they are. They're novelty. I mean, the only time I've ever found one to use was just for novelty value of when someone's made me shuffle my commander into deck, I've opted to shuffle the large card in. It's silly things like that, but I've never found any serious use for them. My partner likes the pictures on them, so yeah, keeps her happy.
Fair enough. But like when you start to move on to the actual list of cards, some of these you look at them and go, "Oh, right, okay, they obviously should be there. They're brilliant commander cards. They should be in every single deck." But so like those cards, I think are like Chaos Warp, Command Tower, Mirari's Wake to a point, Rhystic Study, Scroll Rack, and Sylvan Library.
Yeah, I mean, as we had a quick mention before, because I was having this discussion with my gaming group last night at our table. To be a commander, to be a card worthy of going into Commander's Arsenal, it's got to be a card that if you have access to that colour in your commander deck, it would automatically, that card will pop into your head as a potential for the deck. If it's one you add in because it works with your theme, that's not a Commander's Arsenal deck because that's not going to go into everybody's. No. So, I mean, the example I use of there is Sylvan Library. If you've got access to green and you have a Sylvan Library, you're likely to put it in there.
I can hear the cat. It disagrees with you, Adam.
Hi, Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy has something to say on this, I guess. I'll say it on her behalf because she's thinking exactly the same thing as me, which is when you look at the commanders in this box set, none of them are particularly interesting because they've already been printed once, like very, very sort of close to the time when this was released. So like Kalia was in the Commander one, so was Mimeoplasm and Edric, Maelstrom Wanderer and Velar, if I'm correct, were in Plane Chase 2.
I think it's partly they were like popular commanders, I guess, except for Vela. Never sort of seen a Vela deck before, or a Diachan. But essentially, I think they were trying to print foil versions of the more popular commanders. Like, I think everyone at some point has either made or played a Kalia deck. Most people have seen a Maelstrom Wanderer deck in action, and we all know about how Mimeoplasm works. Edric, I guess Edric's a card.
Edric's quite a popular commander. I mean, he's banned as a one-on-one general for good reason.
Yeah.
Just the sheer card advantage he gives is quite scary.
Yeah, but when you look at like Diachan, the only place I've ever seen Diachan used as a commander was in a loading ready run video where he it was the only creature in his deck, and he put some sort of boots on it so it became hexproof or shroud, so he can never blow up his own stuff.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I've ever seen it. Everything else in here just seems weird. Like Desertion. Desertion's a really, really cool card. I play it in Azami,
Yeah.
but it's just a counter spell.
Yeah, and Duplicate. I mean, really, it's not fantastic. I mean, it's a good card to have in a commander deck, but
oh yeah, I agree.
To make it to the Arsenal, really,
like Dragonlair Spider, it's okay.
No, yeah, I mean that's the one I have the biggest disagreement of being in here in my because I mean I think that's the only multicolour card in here that isn't a legend.
Yeah.
From Mirage
Wake, yeah.
And to me, that's wrong. So as I said just a moment ago, they need to be, if you've got access to the colours, your first reach in. Now, if I was running a green-red deck, most of the ones I probably would go with the Dragonlair Spider, but it wouldn't be in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, like I wanted to put it in Marath for a while, and then it's 6 mana that you hope is going to make you something. If your opponents are going to want to remove it and remove it quickly. So if you're doing like a multiplayer game, they're either going to kill it there and then on the next turn. You're going to get a 1/1 out of it. So you're getting a 1/1 for 6. If they don't kill it for a few turns, they're just going to drop a board wipe and you're just going to lose it all. Yeah. I know generated advantage from that, but yeah.
Yeah, no. I think it is easily the weakest card in this lot, personally.
Yeah, I do like Decree of Pain. Decree of Pain is a favourite of mine, to be able to just go, oops, all you guys are dead, and let's draw some cards.
Yes, Decree of Pain's solid.
Yeah, it replaces itself at the least, because
obviously Command Tower had to be in here, obviously.
Well, yes, Commander Tower had to be sort of in the box. It's the name of our, podcast.
That's not why it had to be in the box.
No, nice. It's more of a multicolour staple, but yeah.
Well, to be honest, for the longest time, I ran Command Tower in Azami just because I could. Mono Blue has a Command Tower in it. Let's make different colour mana. And now it's colourless. Yeah! Living the dream!
Yeah.
I'm an awful person.
But no, I mean, when it comes to the legends in this, what I'd have liked to have seen, I mean, this probably wouldn't have made me buy it because the price was astronomical.
Yeah, it was about £100.
Yeah, but what I'd have liked to have seen is that they put in old legends just with new borders and foil. Houses on Tamar, for example, is quite popular if you can get hold of one.
Yes.
I'd like to see him with new, well, not necessarily new art because Richard Kane Ferguson's a superb artist and he's done brilliantly on that one. But give it an updated border, make it foil.
Yeah.
Even if they just printed like 6 or 7 different takes on Diachan, so they're all old, but they've all been brought up to what modern players see now. Rather than just seeing the same commanders that we've seen maybe from the past year or two.
Yeah, reprinted. Yeah, I mean, I quite like that idea because one of the things I've battered around was mentioned earlier was the concept of maybe a Commanders All Stars, which you can almost. I mean, I can't see it ever happening, but you could almost let people just vote for the top 15 commanders for Wizards to then foil, give new art, and put in a box set together. And I'm sure that'd sell in no time.
Well.
That'd give you access to some of these potentially older commanders that haven't been foiled, that need some love.
Talking about that, I think Ultra Pro, did something very similar to that, in that they had Commander versus boxes. Like they were going to do a box which had 2 commanders on it, and they had like a list of commanders that you could choose from. So it was like A versus B, C versus D, etc., etc., etc. And then at the end of the first week, the ones who had the most votes from each of those would go on, and then you would vote for like A versus C, and all that sort of thing. And oh my god, who was making that noise?
That's not me.
God damn it, Adam.
I don't know, what noise was it?
Like scraping and moving around.
Oh, I dropped my iPad, sorry.
Oh god. Oh, I was thinking, I'm gonna have to edit this out or we're gonna have to start again. No, I'm gonna leave it in because it makes you look like an idiot.
Just a disclaimer: no iPads were hurt in the making of this.
No, it slid down the back of the sofa. I had to just grab it.
Brilliant. But right, the other thing that's also in the box is 120 Ultra Pro foil card sleeves, 20 double-sided battle markers. Well, battle marks that work as both +1 and +1/+1 and -1/-1 counters, and a life counter that goes up to 99. Now, those sleeves are done by Ultra Pro, and Ultra Pro sort of sleeves with pictures on the back are goddamn awful.
They don't seem to last very long for me. So.
No, they don't. So you're paying £100, you're getting 120 sleeves, and they're each going to break in about 30 seconds.
So that's why you've got 20 more, you see, because you'll break 20 of them and then you've got spare.
Yeah.
The counters are a nice little thing, but they're not a massive.
Yeah, they're not too bad. But
useful.
like the life counter for me personally is my life is either at 40 or below that. The only time it's ever above 40 is when it's slightly more infinite.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, so 99 on a counter doesn't seem that high to me. It just seems
well, I mean,
useless.
This is one of the things. I mean, if we move on to what we'd like to see in a future one, because I posed this question again to some of my mates recently, and they came up with a list of cards, and then also posed the case of what would you like that wasn't a card to appear in the deck. And one of the suggestions I had was obviously, yes, it's something that you. I mean, most things they add in tend to be gimmicky, like that. The life counter goes up to 99. It's not really particularly useful, but it's a nice idea because obviously it's a format that life does go up higher than normal. And one of them suggested counters to actually track commander damage that you've taken.
Yeah,
that'd be a good one. Yeah, I'd agree. I would agree with that.
Obviously, in like a 4-player game, if you've got 3 people attacking you, you're not always quite. I mean, we quite often have a line of dice next to our life dice trying to track commander damage, but you look at them and you're like, hang on, so which one was from who?
Yeah.
So just some form of counter that goes up to 21 or down from 21, however you want to do it, that could maybe have a player 1, 2, and 3 written on.
Either that, or they could just print them like the poison counters. So maybe it could have some sort of commander-related picture on it, and then that is literally just something for you to put your dice on.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that was
actually saying that's a use for the oversized cards.
If you have an oversized card that matches your opponent, yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. The only time that commander damage really matters is if you're playing against someone who has Rafik or Maelstrom Wanderer to a point.
Maelstrom Wanderer to a point, but I would say that the guy that plays Maelstrom Wanderer tries to get him killed most of the time.
Yeah, because they drop Maelstrom Wanderer once, they put these 2 big things into play, and everyone just goes, yeah, they need to die really quickly.
Yeah, so
we can't have this happening again. Oh look, he's played Conjurer Closet. God damn it. Yeah, you just can't have it happen.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I thought that was quite nice. I mean, I suppose you could, if you, for example, I've got Sliver Queen. If I get hold of 3 oversized Sliver Queens, when I turn up to a game, I could give each one to my opponent, and that'd give them something to track the damage on, possibly. But I don't know. It's a possible use, but I would say it was something I'd never considered, and he suggested it.
Yeah, a couple of things I think which should have been in it was my favourite card for Commander of all time, Solemn Simulacrum, or as I call him, Sadbot. He should have been in there. Or if he's not in there, they should have done something like Commander's Toolbox, which should have had like a Soul Ring.
I think something like
Dan's favourite card, Eternal Witness.
Spawn of the Dead.
I agree on that.
Such value, but yeah.
If they were going to follow it up, something like a Toolbox would be better because, as we were saying last night, was if you set yourself, I'm going to build a a green white deck, just for example. You quite often, most people then go to the same places for their initial cards because they're just cards that are good enough to go in there. Now, most of these aren't cards that you think, oh wow, they're fantastic, they're game winners. They're, as you say, they're toolbox cards. They're what help you get along in the game. Because I mean, most of the cards, because I've got a list of cards that I was suggested for when I pitched the idea of Commander's Arsenal 2. But to me, most of them are toolbox cards. They're not going to win you the game, but they're going to help, or they're going to stop your opponent, or make your deck just slightly better.
One thing I've actually wanted Wizards to always do for Commander was release a set called Magic the Gathering Soul Ring, which released booster packs of 10 Soul Rings, just Soul Rings, nothing else. Yeah, they might be in foil, they might have different art, just Soul Rings. Because you always need them, especially like you, who has like your 15 Commander decks. You need 15 Soul Rings.
I own a lot of Soul Rings.
I wish I did. I think mine hide from me because I know I have one. Then I got 2 of the new Commander decks which came out, the 2013 ones.
Yeah, because they all.
And I swear I had another one after that, and I could only find 2.
Well, I've got 1 foil and about 10 normal, I think now.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think I've got one in all but 2 of my decks, and they're not in them those decks for thematical reasons. But yeah, I've got about 16 decks, I think, and all but 2 have Soul Rings in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one issue that like an issue, and I'm going to put issue in like quotation marks here, that every Commander deck needs a Soul Ring, and
it's likewise nearly every command. Well, every command deck that's not mono needs a command tower.
Yeah, like it's very good that Wizards is actually releasing, when they release the Commander decks, each one of them has a Soul Ring, each one of them has a command tower, but at the same time, I wish they were a bit more accessible than having to drop 30 quid for, one of these decks, especially if you want the Grixis deck. And just like, I want to play Grixis. I love the look of Nekusar. It had True Name Nemesis in it, so have fun trying to find one of those.
Yeah, it's exactly the same with, well, to some extent, it was the same as the Zedru deck from the first lot, because it had, what was that insane counterspell that they used?
Flutterstorm.
Flusterstorm, yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, I mean, I bought that box, was massively disappointed with it, sold the Flusterstorm and made my money back, so I didn't really care. But
I did the same with Scavenging Ooze the first time round.
Yeah.
What did I do with my True Name? I did something silly with it. I can't remember what it was. I got a fuck ton of stuff, I think, for Marath in the end. Oh, swear count 1.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm keeping a tally.
In case you guys don't know,
mention of Eternal Witness.
I don't think you actually swore.
No, Eternal Witness is bad enough.
Okay.
In case you guys don't know, we had to have a discussion about sort of what rating we wanted to keep the podcast at, so we could a bit wider audience essentially. And we decided we'd go for PG 13, wasn't it?
Yeah, which allows us 4 swear words.
Essentially, it's 4-5 swear words, and then after that, we'd have to reclassify ourselves. Since Magic the Gathering is a 12+ game, we thought 13+ was probably about right. But
it also mentions this. You can have a drug reference in there as well, but as we're talking about Magic, that's pretty covered.
Yeah, cardboard crack. Drugs would be cheaper
and easier to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, carrying on.
Carrying on.
Yeah,
right.
so I mean, so just for example, some of the cards I was given a list of. Now, to me, most of the ones down this list, if I had access to those colours, they would instantly pop into my head of as card to go in the deck. Not all of them would make the deck, depending, but they would all come through my head. But as I'll read the list off, you'll understand what we're saying about the fact that if these were in a Commander's Arsenal, that doesn't appeal, but a Commander's Toolbox, these sound perfect for. I mean, I've got Hull Breach. A fantastically versatile card.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Assemble the Legion.
Yeah.
I don't think it was great enough to make the list personally, but
I think that would be more of a Commander's Arsenal card, because it's more like to me, Commander's Arsenal is all about bombs.
Yes, and that is
and all very, very special cards.
Yeah.
Which Commander's Arsenal kind of did, but then you look at it and just go, Diachan. So why is that there?
Yeah.
Why is Decree of Annihilation there? Even though Decree of Annihilation is amazing, why is it there?
Yeah. I mean, Assemble, I would say for Toolbox, the next one, Decimate, that Yeah, I love Decimate.
Which one's Decimate again? Is it the red-black one?
No, red green, destroy a artifact, enchantment, creature, and land.
Oh, I like
Yeah,
that.
I do like that.
It got a reprint in Conspiracy, thank God. Voidstalker. Love him.
I don't know if I've seen
Do we
Voidstalker.
not? It's
Oh, is it that like squid thing? The glow
squid thing that tucks cards.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spawn Writhe.
Oh yes, I know. When if it deals damage, you put a copy of it into play.
Yeah, but he gets out of hand quick.
Yeah, that's in Conspiracy as well, actually.
Terminus.
Actually, no. We just mentioned a couple of things. Why was Conspiracy called Conspiracy? Why was it not called Commander's Toolbox? .draft.
I don't know, but I'm probably going to call it that from now on. Where else are we?
Draft. Remember the .draft. You have to get your file names right.
Standstill.
Yep.
That's a lovely multiplayer card.
I can't remember Standstill.
It's a 1 blue and 1 enchantment. When somebody plays a spell, sacrifice it. That player's opponents all draw 3 cards.
Oh.
Yeah, so kind of locks the game out beautifully. I think I played one last night and held the game at the same point for I think 4 turns till someone finally got bored.
Oh, I might have to put one of those in his army. And back to basics.
Standstill's fantastic. Land tax got a mention here as well because obviously that's not enough to warrant a bomb. Because I mean, once you start to get past too many colours, searching for planes isn't great.
And it's basic planes as well. You can't go, oh, I get to go look for 3 shot clans. It's basic planes.
Yeah, but that's another potential possible. And obviously Songring made this.
I don't think Land Tax doesn't go look for planes because I play Land Tax and it goes.
Planes, I thought it was 3 planes. Oh, is it just 3 basics?
It's 3 basics because I play it in Marath. Then I just play it turn 1. It's just like I'm sorted for mana for the rest of the game now. But what's also good about it, it's also a May effect, and it's up to 3, so you don't have to keep ripping 3 out.
No, I always choose to rip 3 out just to get land out the way.
Yeah, it's true. It also gets really good with Crucible of Worlds. If you just keep ripping 3 out and just go end of turn and discard these lands, it's just like I've got all my lands in my graveyard.
Yeah, you're right. It is 3 basics. Sorry, I apologise.
Yeah, 3 basics. I like land tax. I don't actually have a real one. I actually use a gold bordered one.
Oh, so my wife's got one. Unfortunately, I'd made the silly decision of trading my judge one.
Oh,
yeah, I regret it.
It's so pretty as well. Is it the one with the chest?
Yeah.
Oh,
I regret it so much now, which is why I want them to print a new one in this new Commander's Toolbox we're designing for them in foil, please. Thank you.
We should I'll like tweet it to Wizards later, just like here we go. Just listen to this. Just listen to this, and obviously retweet it for everyone as well because subscribers. Oh, actually, when I first set this channel up, because I'm using one of my old channels, we had 11 subscribers. But looking at it earlier, we now have 13.
Woohoo!
And one of them's me.
Hey! So we've got 1 new subscriber. Hello, 1 new subscriber. Thank you for joining us. Please don't leave us. Please.
What else? I think I've kind of run down the majority left. I mean, most of the other stuff. It's things like smaller spells, things like, for example, one of my mates that is a fairly heavy blue player, never builds a blue deck without Pongify or Rapid Hybridization.
Yeah.
Which they're not good enough, to me, they're not good enough cards to make it into something like this, but they're also the same kind of thing. They're almost staples for your colour format in Commander.
Kinda. It depends. Like, if you're playing mono blue, yes. If you're not, there's no point.
Yes, agreed.
Because, like, if you play it with green, you're playing big guys, so you don't really need the removal. Because you also got the fight mechanic as well. If you're playing it with black...
Black does removal better.
Black. If you're playing it with white, you've got board sweepers, and you've got path and swords, and condemn.
And red's got burn. But yeah. I mean, it's things like that. Because I mean, this is the thing. What one person considers a staple for their deck types, someone else will consider a piece of chaff that should be used to prop up the wonky table.
Yeah, that might have been what the issue was with Commander's Arsenal. Like, they may have had this huge long list of cards. They went around the office and went, okay, suggest a Commander card, which you think should be, alternate art, foiled, and put in like a premium.
Do you reckon it was literally just a case of it was what everybody in the office at that day didn't have in foil so far?
It might have been something silly like that. Like, they probably they picked 17 cards out of a hat, realised they hadn't done Command Tower and went, we'll put Command Tower in as the 18th. and then picks like how many, like 10 more cards out, like 10 legendary creatures out, and they were the large sized ones.
Yeah.
I like that's what it looks like. I'd like to think Wizards weren't that lazy, but
You never know.
Wizards probably were that lazy.
I mean, let's be fair. Who doesn't do as little as work as they possibly can?
Yeah, true.
True. Yeah. I mean, the one
Yeah,
thing I'd like to see, sorry for the new one, is doubling season.
yeah,
Yeah, I can agree on that.
Yeah, the funny thing about doubling season is whenever it comes out, it instantly sells out of all types, whether it's foil or non-foil, it's instantly gone.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's played in any major decks in modern. I don't think it's played
just for EDH.
It's just for Commander.
Yeah,
And-
which brings to
yeah.
that point. I do need a foil one. If any of our listeners out there would like to help out with that,
This is not what this show is for.
it's turning into it so far.
What was it? What was it? I was plugging Magic Madhouse last week, and now you're plugging yourself.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey,
Good going.
So yeah, I think that's enough about that for now. So should we just jump into our second segment of the show?
Sure.
Sounds good.
Okay, and this one is another deck one, which we're going to be doing weekly, and this one is on Adam's deck, which is entitled Walker Texas Ranger. So, Adam, do you want to give us a little bit of info about the deck?
Yeah, basically, when I rejoined playing Magic again after quite a long break, it was about M11 time, and I started collecting Planeswalkers, aiming to try and get one of each art in foil where possible, all English printings. As a result, obviously, by the time I got a fair hefty load together, it was then just deciding what to do with them, and so a Commander deck was created, which is what we have here. So essentially, it was just a deck to use and abuse as many Planeswalkers as possible. So I've ended up with 30 in there, and then obviously ramp from the artifacts, bit of protection from the enchantments board, some sweepers knocking about there, and it was just going from there.
Okay, so you say about ramping with the artifacts. There's one thing I noticed that isn't in there at the moment, and that's Tesseract, because he can go and find them for you.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting you bring that one up actually, because when the first design of the deck, there was nearly no artifacts. I was doing most of my original ramp through land search, but as I went and realising not having basic lands, it switched to artifacts, and hasn't yet, as of the point, got round to putting Tez back in it yet. But it's nice that you bring it up, because it's certainly something I've been pondering over myself. So having others pick on it as well and point it out does mean that should be an option.
Yeah.
Very much so. The question is, would you run both Tez or just one, or one? Which one?
For me, I'd play both, and I'd potentially take out maybe two of the Ajani's, Goldmen and Mentor of Heroes, simply because they seem more creature focused.
Yeah, and whereas Steadfast, he still boosts his creatures, but he does also provide loyalty.
Yeah. Dan's basically said most of the stuff I wanted to say about the deck. Like, like looking through the lands, there's like Vault of the Archangel in there. Like, I know that you have like Elspeth throwing out tokens and a couple of other things, but generally that's not the way you're going to win. I don't think. Like, I feel that you're going to win through maybe other means, like playing like Planeswalker Control and winning with your man lands, and then Vault of the Archangel just seems like a bit of a...
Yeah, I can certainly see that, definitely. I mean, I'd say where you hit it bang on the nail when it went in, because of obviously the Elspeth producing tokens, even with the fact that I'm using Slither Queen and obviously can produce slithers to produce tokens. It's a good booster for those, but certainly since playing it, the games I've played, often I've found that even though in my head when I built the deck it was going to generate a lot of tokens, it doesn't.
No. Like Dan mentioned Tezzeret, and he's very good in this deck, I would say, especially if you try and put some of the signets in, considering that the signets are a bit of ramp. And they're also mana fixing, which I'm gonna guess mana fixing is definitely a thing which you need in this deck.
Mana fixing is one of the most important things. So far, I've been very lucky on the fact that it's not actually ever screwed me, but I know that's only a case of it just means it hasn't got round yet.
Yeah, like I'd take a Johnny out, maybe put in like at least the mono blue Tezzeret at the least. I think it is the mono blue the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I'd probably also take Venser out, but I'd probably leave Venser in until Teferi comes out in Commander 14.
Yeah, I mean, I've been considering taking Venser out to try out Brago, because the only thing I really tend to use Venser for is to essentially bounce other walkers, kind of resetting characters.
Venser's a bit more easy to control, though, is the only thing. Like you can still go board sweeper and not have to worry about Brago dying or anything like that. But yeah, I quite like the deck. I've always wanted to do a Planeswalker style deck, like 5 colors. If it was me, I think I'd do it more like Bant centric colors, and like the colors are Bant, and then there'd be a bit of red and black for the walkers and a bit of other things. But apart from that, I quite like it.
Yeah, well, I would say I just wanted to try and use the fact that I collected all these walkers together, because I mean that's the joy of it. I mean, every single walker in there's foil. It just looks beautiful when I play it. I'm actually in the process of slowly trying to foil this deck now, which is not a very me thing to do at all. I'm not a magpie. I only bother with foils if I happen to have the foil.
Yeah, fair enough.
So it is a slow progress. I'm actually probably going to attempt to foil this entire thing. I mean, as I say, I'm a good chunk away there with all the walkers done, and a few of the other cards are foil already. Not looking forward to trying getting hold of all 10 foil shocklands, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's something for another time. The thing is, like, talking about pimping, which is something we do really have to talk about in another episode, because since it is such a large topic, massive topic, is that they are so much more. Every now and then you find a foil, like in my Afara deck, my Deputy of Acquittals and White Maid Lion are foil. That's because they're like 50p more than the non-foils, and when it's sort of that much difference, I might as well go for the foil because it looks nice. But no, I like the deck. I'd do it slightly differently if it was me, but I definitely do like it. I'd probably, I like it, even though I keep going, no, I do like it. It does look like one of those fun decks to play.
Something that's just sprung to mind for me is Light Minefield.
You're gonna have to remind me of that one.
Okay, so it's white 2 for an enchantment. Whenever one or more creatures attack, Light Minefield deals damage to each of those creatures equal to the number of attacking creatures.
Ah.
Now they don't have to come at you.
No, that just keeps creatures off the board in general.
Yeah. And if you've got Gideon Jura down, and you can make sure one person's going to be attacking their whole army into Gideon, there's a good chance they're all going to die to the Light Minefield.
That's a really good idea. I like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd potentially take out something like, I don't know, probably Divine Reckoning or something like that. I mean, this has got too many wraths in anyway for my liking.
Well, obviously, it's the fact that none of them particularly hurt me.
No, of course not, no.
The scariest thing I ever come across in this deck is Planar Cleansing.
Yeah.
That gives me the willies.
There's 2 cards I think that could be added. One of them's Creeping Renaissance, because you can just play it, name Planeswalker, and all these Planeswalkers come into play, and you can go from dead to Planar Cleansing to winning after Planar Cleansing, because you go, everyone's got nothing, then you just go Creeping Renaissance and you have everything again. The other one would be Celestial Dawn. Celestial Dawn basically means that you can cast all your all your spells for white mana. I think it affects everyone. I'm just going to read it from the Gatherer. So it says, lands you control are planes. Non-land cards you own that aren't on the battlefield, spells you control, and non-land permanents you control are white. You may spend white mana as though it were mana of any color. You may spend other mana as though it was colorless mana. So essentially, all your spells become white, all your lands become plains, and you can just go, so like 5, here's this blue walker, 5, here's this red walker. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's in similar kind of vein as to why Prismatic Omen's in there, obviously, to just get any mana that you need from any land. But that is quite a nice idea.
Look, the only issue with it is that you have to really worry about white hate. You know, if someone on your table has a deck which plays white, you're screwed. Because you just play this and you go, oh, so I've got all these things as protection from white, hit you.
Yes.
It's just like, ah.
But I would say protection doesn't seem, to be honest, it's certainly in our table, protection doesn't see a massive play. Likewise, obviously, the other one to bring up is things that have Planeswalker, but again, not something that regularly appears in our commander tables either. So that's
5 exist anyway.
Sorry?
Yeah, there's also that land, the red land. No, sorry, not the land, the red spell, which destroys all planes. You go play that, and they go destroy all planes. It's like, it gets a bit.
Yeah, I don't think we have anyone that plays that either.
No, that's quite a rarity to come up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've noticed as well. There's a lack of Nissas.
Yeah, frankly, it's elf racism.
Yeah, there was. I mean, obviously, the original Nissa, with the fact, I mean, unless I'm going to put a Nissa's Chosen in there, she seemed a bit silly. And the final ability to put all elves into play, yeah, there aren't no elves. So the original Nissa certainly doesn't have any benefit for the deck. I can kind of understand the call for the second Nissa, but I'm not a fan of turning my lands into creatures that often.
Well, it's a win con. Like, depending on sort of how much money you want to drop into this, like you can get like what's it called? Oh my god, Crucible of Worlds. And you can just like, oh no, one of my lands died. Replay it. So there's obviously ways to go around it, and oh yes, Creeping Renaissance. You swing, they kill all your land. You sort of like you go Creeping Renaissance, bring all my lands back. Oh no, it's back to your hand, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not to play, mate.
Yeah, it's back to your hand. It's not quite that good.
Yeah, yeah, but it's target land you control, so you can keep targeting the same one over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I can see the call. I mean, I do have a Nissa to spare. Unfortunately, I've not got a foil one yet, but yeah, I do have a Nissa to spare, so I certainly might try. But I would say the first Nissa, there's no place in the deck for her at all.
Yeah, no. The second one would literally, you would be using her for her second +1 ability, which is untap up to 4 target forests. Like her -7, which is search your land for any number of basic land cards and put them onto the battlefield, is that's awesome, but
not
you're running 5 basics.
Yeah. In fact, actually, that sort of answered the question as to why she isn't in there.
Yeah, why is she not there? Yeah, because she only finds basics. Well, if it was land, it'd be better.
If it was land, she'd be amazing.
Oh yeah, imagine just going actually going. What's the starting loyalty? 5. Oh, you just go her like doubling season. Her, she has 10 encounters, -7. Here's all 35 of my land or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All I'm ever going to draw now is gas.
Go fish.
It's just like bomb, combo piece, win. Yeah, I can. Yeah, okay. So I can see why she shouldn't be in there now. Actually, since we've started talking about it, but yeah.
There's no Ajani's Vengeance either. I feel Ajani's Vengeance probably one of the first ones I'd put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, would that be for the tap down ability?
That'd be for the tap down ability and for his epic ability.
Now, I would say we covered this last week with our frown on list. We're not a big fan of land destruction in our group, and I think the hate I would get for playing him would be tremendous. But that said, at the same time, no one's a particularly big fan of when you get Kharn racked up to full after an hour commander game.
As a horrible person, I don't want to feel the hate. It's just like, don't you feed off the hate?
That's how you combo players that feed off hate.
Your hatred feeds me. I just love combo so much. Once you go combo, you never go back.
Something's just dawned on me, actually. An interesting thing you could do with this deck. The mana base might not hold this up, but if you got one of every single Planeswalker that has been printed, what you could do is you could just put them in a big pile, shuffle them up, and then just take the top 30.
Oddly enough, not too far off the initial start of the deck.
Well, wait. How many Planeswalkers are there now?
I'd need to go and get my folder to tell you.
Well, there's obviously at least 30. There's definitely 32.
Let me just give me 1 sec. I think I can see my folder and I can tell you.
34. I think there's 34. 35.
More than that.
It's more than that.
I'm just having a look now.
Like I'm going through it. There's 36.
There's 49.
There's 49.
Yeah.
That sounds close. That sounds closer. I can't find my folder to check.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, there's 49 in there.
Got it. Hang on.
There we go.
Right, so what we've got? We've got 30 in there.
We think there's 49. Well, Dan says
we've got
49.
30 in there. We've got Johnny Call of the Pride. He's not in there, so that's 31. Johnny Vengeance, 32. Chandra Blaze, 33. Chandra the Fireband, 34. Chandra Pyromaster, 35.
The worst Chandra, yeah.
Well, no, hold on. No. That could work in this. No, I'm not going to have a bad word said about my Chandra.
Domri Raids, 36. Caller of Beasts is 37. I can't count anymore.
42.
Have I got a Chase the Memory Adept in there or not? I can't remember off the list.
No,
so that's what I've really lost the ability to count.
I think Dan's total of 49 is probably round about.
Yeah, we've got Koth, Lily the Veil, Sarkhan.
There is exactly 49. I've checked.
Yeah,
he's checked. There we go. Then there's 49.
He didn't say check. That's cheating.
I know that.
Who said we could use the interwebs? It's not like we host our show on the interwebs or anything.
I know.
What? This is on the interweb?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, an idea I've just thought of actually. Chandra Pyromaster could work in this because what's your card drawing like?
1 a turn.
1 a turn.
Unless Jace turns up.
Chandra Pyromaster gives you 2 a turn, and you get to play your Planeswalker you've just got off the top.
Give you 2 a turn. Oh my god! Why do people say it's 2 a turn? It's not.
You're not speaking bad about my Chandra.
Oh, I am. I don't think we have the time to do it today. So what we're going to do is we're going to do it in public. And when Dan doesn't turn up to the next podcast, guys, you'll know who's won.
That seems reasonable.
I endeavour to be on every single show ever. I might just block you from Sky.
No!
So next week then, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a new co-host.
It's going to be no one.
But no, seriously though, I think Chandra could work. Like, you exile the top card of your library. If it's a Planeswalker, you get to play it, and it costs 0 to do that ability.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's that's actually certainly what I considered. I mean, the reason it wasn't cut is, generally speaking, I needed to make sure at least 2 of the abilities really worked for me.
Yeah.
And the -7 didn't really, because I mean most of my sorceries are board wrath effects. So having it, what is it? Plays it 3 times or something stupid like that.
It plays it twice, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and the first one, it removes a blocker, and I mean the only thing I tend to really attack with is Progenitus, and he doesn't care about blockers.
No.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I did really like the 0 ability for exactly the reason you've given. But I'm playing her just for the 0 ability. But at the same time, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because people are less likely to pick on her, so they're more likely to leave her open because I'm not using anything else.
Right.
Actually, I think I've just talked myself into trying her out.
There you go, see? No one ever said
Oh,
it.
no.
And I do have the black foil one to play with.
No. I've played her in Standard. I played her in UWR Control, and everyone's just like, oh, she's awesome. She's going to be great. It's just like, whenever I zeroed her, be like you just go 0, Aetherling. It's just like, I don't want to play e-filling right now. God
Well, that's
damn
fine
it!
because it gets cards off the top of your library that you don't want.
Yeah, but you want to hold the e-filling in your hand.
Well, what's the point of it being a card then if you're just going to hold it in your hand?
Because it's a win con.
Not in your hand, it's not. It's only a
Do
win
you
con.
guys understand how control works?
No.
No.
Okay, I don't either. I just wing it. I just wing it. It's like, that looks like it might be a problem. Here's a counter. It's like, oh crap, that's already resolved. Removal.
No, for me, control, especially in Commander, my control decks have 40 plus creatures in, and you use your creatures to control the ground.
Vanilla creatures don't count. The rage, god damn it, the rage. Oh.
No, they certainly do count.
Right, I think we've had enough of this deck tech. I'm furious
You've
now.
lost complete control of it.
I've lost.
Dan, for card of the week, please pick Pyromaster.
No. Oh god damn it. Oh.
That's a very good segue into the last segment.
Oh. No.
So our last segment of the night then, against Tom's will, is cards of the week. We're going to decide to call it cards of the week, as there are 3, technically 4, because a certain sad robot is always going to be there.
Well, actually, we should call with Khans of Tarkir becoming a thing. We should start calling it Khans of the week. No, okay.
I kind of feel like I'd need to pick something from Khans then.
I know.
No, I've not been impressed by much of it at the moment, so that's going to be very short-lived.
There's some. Oh, we're going to mention it after we've done Cards of the Week, but there's been a couple of things which have impressed me slightly. So. But apart from that, so since I'm still talking, my my card of the week, apart from Sadbot, which will always be the card of the week while I still live, is with all these Planeswalkers running around, is Hero's Downfall. No other reason except for the fact there's too many Planeswalkers. It's also incredibly versatile. It's 3 mana. It kills problem creatures and problem Planeswalkers, and you can't really complain about that. It's all upside.
It is.
It is. It's a very nice spot removal spell that isn't white.
Yes. So Dan, what's your card of the week?
Well, funny that you should ask me, because my card of the week this week is Chandra Pyromaster.
I'm just rage quitting. You guys can go jump off a short pier.
It's not really. It's Kathar's Crusade.
Oh, fair enough. I'm okay with that. Kathar's Crusade. I have done millions and millions of dirty combos with that thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, so Kathar's Crusade, I'll run down it, is red 2 for 4 loyalty. It's, oh no, that's Chandra.
Oh, God damn it. Oh.
Oh, sorry. So
it's
white 3 for an enchantment in white, obviously. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. I play this in decks that aren't token based. I obviously only play it in decks that are creature based, but then all of my decks are creature based. But just the thing of having this thing down looks scary enough. If you make a load of tokens, they will instantly get bigger. If you just start plunking down creatures one after the other, they all start getting bigger. And I play it in my Jasmine Burrell deck.
I can tell you that it's very good in Marath, just for the sheer fact that you have Marath out, you make a dude, and it puts the counter straight back on him. So just with enough mana, you can just make tons and tons of dudes, which is where Ashnod's Altar comes into it, and you make infinite mana, and then you do something with it. It's infinite mana, who cares? What about you then, Adam? What's your card of the week?
Mine?
Pyromaster.
No, I will resist. I feel quite bad about this because I'm now picking blue cards 2 weeks in a row, and I'm not a blue player. It's very confusing. It makes me feel a bit wrong inside. But
it's
this
not
week,
being blue.
This week, surely because of the fun I had with it last night, I'm going to go with Rite of Replication.
Oh yes, 11 sad bots.
Such being able to hit sad robot with it. It's just value all over. I mean, it was fantastic. It's like, bring on your board wipes, please.
Please, let me draw 11 cards.
To the point that I think it got exiled from my graveyard pretty much instantly after that, because everyone knows in the deck I was running it in. I've got umpteen ways of bringing it back. It was just fantastic. It's such a fun card. I mean, let's be honest. When you look at a commander board, is there anything out there you don't want 5 copies of?
Chandra
5 Kozileks when Hall of Mirrors is down, so the legendary effect doesn't happen.
So it just is, no matter what. I mean, even for a player that's a control player or a non-creature player, you add that in your deck, you look around, there's going to be a creature player somewhere. They're probably going to have something that having 5 of's probably going to help you.
To be honest, actually, that is now, I'm going to have to get a hold of one of those to put into his army, because that's actually a pretty good reason to put it in. Just for the sheer fact, like, oh, I'm just going to hit Sadbot, or I'm going to make 5 copies of Lab Maniac just in case someone tries to kill me.
Well, so my favourite previous one was 5 copies of Inferno Titan, because that's a lot of damage.
That is a hell of a lot of damage.
Yes. Right of Replication is probably now one of my more favourite cards. If you play blue, play Right of Replication, just because there's going to be someone at the table who plays Manchester Sphinx, sets your life at 10, and when life gives you lemons, rub them into the eyes of your victims so they know your pain too. And you just cast it, you copy that, and you make everyone else's life 10. It's like, you know my pain.
Dan, is Tom scaring you at all?
A little bit.
Right,
In fact,
since I'm scaring people, I think we should move on to spoilers so we can wrap this up.
Now, I'll be honest, I haven't actually really looked at many spoilers this week, so I'm just trying on my phone, but it's about to die.
So I'm looking at spoilers from today, which is the September the 10th. And there's 3-4 things actually from today. First of all, there's the Teamer, which is green, blue, red Khan, and he is going to be insane, especially in Commander. So he's called Surak Dragonclaw, and he's 5 mana, and he has Flash. So first of all, he's also a 6/6, and he can't be countered, and creature spells you control can't be countered, and then other creatures you control have trample. So that's not nice. The fact he's also got Flash, come on. It's a bit insane.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I always take umbrage to cards like this. It's just a 5 mana 6/6 that can't be countered, is instant, gives all your other creatures trample, and makes them can't be countered. I know it's 3 colour, but Wizards, please. Come on.
Yeah, he should. I really think he should be 6 mana. I know what they're doing though. They've done a 3 mana Khan, a 4 mana Khan, a 5, and a 6. It's, you know, it was the 6 was Narset. She was the highest converted mana cost one. But like after that, the other one is Quiet Contemplation. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay 1. If you do, tap target creature an opponent controls, and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. It sounds really good, but the issue I have with it, actually thinking about it, is that it really needs cheap sorceries, or them to start playing before their combat phase. Because if they wise up and start playing sort of their spells after the combat phase, then it's fine. Because they've already attacked with their creatures, and, you know, there's nothing really to tap down. It's just like, oh, that doesn't untap until your next turn. It's just like, so... yeah, it's okay, essentially. It's okay if you can play it right.
I don't like it simply because it's blue.
No, it's blue.
The simplicity of the argument there.
Yeah.
I also agree with the argument, but
next is Abzan Charm, which looks pretty decent. Maybe not for Commander. Maybe slightly for Commander, maybe not. It's obviously instant. It's white, black, green. Choose one. Exile target creature with power 3 or greater. That's Commander staple right there, to be honest. Being able to just exile. Like, exile is so much better than destroy, especially in Commander when you have 1-ofs. Like, when you're playing 4-ofs in, like, 60-card decks, like Standard or Modern, it's like, oh, it got exiled. Oh, well, here's another one. Because you can run 4 of them. But in Commander, you don't want your bomb getting exiled.
No.
It's a whole different board game. Then
Unless
the other
it's your commander, I suppose.
yeah, but yeah, it basically just acts like a fog.
Yeah.
The next bit is sign in blood at instant speed, so you draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. I think that's really good. I think that's really, really good. And I think it may actually make Abzan control a thing in standard, but that's standard. The last one is distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures. After that, like the spoilers from today and the past while have been significantly meh. There's nothing worth mentioning. Like
Except one, actually.
except one.
Yes, which I'm going to mention. So I love Genesis Wave.
Oh, yeah, that thing. Yeah, go on.
And I love this as well. Villainous Wealth. It's blue, green, black, X sorcery. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost X or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Reverse Genesis Wave, yes please.
I missed that. How did I miss that? That's fantastic.
It's not bad. I know. It's really good, actually. It's incredibly good. The issue I have with it is that it's luck-based, not skill-based.
Yeah, but
so is Genesis Wave.
So yeah.
Well, no. Genesis Wave actually requires you to build a good deck.
Well, not necessarily.
You have to use it properly.
You say it's luck based. I would say the vast majority of people that play Commander play within their own social groups. So you kind of already know what's in the decks you're facing. So you will know what's a good deck to hit with that.
Yeah, true. I guess it's the same as bribery in that respect.
Yeah.
Oh God, I just forgot about something. 2 days ago, they released something called Hooded Hydra. Have either of you seen this?
I've seen Hooded Hydra. I was really, really, really happy with this because my blue-green +1/+1 counter deck is really short on Hydras at the moment because I haven't released any for ages.
No. But no, so Hooded Hydra is a double green X. Hooded Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. When Hooded Hydra dies, put a 1/1 green snake creature token onto the battlefield for each +1/+1 counter on it. It's got morph for 5, and if it's turned face up from morph, obviously, put 5 +1/+1 counters on it.
Hydras are an interesting beast because personally, I think Commander is where they belong.
Yeah,
Hydras in general, Commander is where they live and breathe because, generally speaking, that's where you've got the most mana to chuck at an X creature.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Like I'm thinking about it for Marath, but the thing is, I was saying the same with Hydra Brood Mother, I think it was, and I never put that in. So it could be good. It might not be. For Commander, it's touch and go. It depends sort of what you're gonna do.
Yeah, the thing against most Hydras, as I've found out to my cost, is you get quite a lot of mana into the X for it to come down massive, and then it dies, and you've wasted your mana. Whereas this, at least you get something out of it.
Yeah, this guy has value over him because I would say even after a board wipe, you're going to be in a fairly decent position if you had that big fat boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last spoiler thing I want to mention is the land cycle that they actually have spoiled, and it's not the fetches. It's like the Zendikar ones that they enter the battlefield tapped. You gain a life, and they make 2 colors.
I was surprised by that.
They're upgraded guild gates, essentially.
I was really surprised.
That's what I'd call power creep. Releasing those straight after the guild gates.
Yeah.
You know, I think personally that's what I think the guild gates should have done. Anyway.
They should have gained you life or something.
They should have done something other than coming into play attack. The fact that they were a gate and that became relevant for about 5 cards.
Yeah.
Was something, but
yeah, these are obviously better. Like if you have guild gates in your decks, change them for these unless you're really desperate for more fixing, in which case obviously run both.
Well, you won't be able to run guild gates when these come out anyway, will you?
Well, no, I'm talking about Commander now.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're back to Commander again.
Yes, in standard these won't see play because temples are better.
Yeah, the only problem I've ever had, because obviously you had the access to these with the Zen ones anyway, essentially, is no one in our group wants to drop these on first turn because putting yourself on most life in our games just gets you attacked.
Even one life.
Even one life
E-
gets you.
oh my god.
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I meant to ask you, both you guys, this. I mean, it's not so much aimed at Tom because obviously you're not really a creature player. But Dan, when you play your first creature, say the board's still open, how do you decide who you attack first?
I normally go by strength of opposition. So if I'm sat down with three very good decks, I normally look at it as if who's got the best chance of winning other than me.
You see, as is who's on his dice roll for randomness, unless someone's on more life.
Oh, so you guys must really like the dethrone mechanic then from Conspiracy.
Oddly, not that many people have used it. I know, go figure. Not worked out why.
Yay, backwards. We always attack the person with the highest life, but let's not use dethrone because, that's unfair.
I know, it's just bizarre. But
Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, no, for me, I don't like relying on dice rolls simply because you can end up at the wrong person.
Well, I would say it's only something we seem to do on the first turn when there's no obvious advantage but it's just one of those things. It's just always happened in our group, and I imagine always will.
Last thing I want to mention, I completely forgot about it. Have you guys seen Meandering Tower Shell?
Is that the big stupid turtle?
That's the big stupid turtle.
That wasn't blue to go into my Ocean Fiend deck.
Yes. So
Wizards.
if you guys haven't seen Meandering Tower Shell is 3 and double green, has Island Walk, and is a 5/9. Now this sounds amazing until you add this little bit of this paragraph they've written here. Whenever Meandering Tower Shell attacks, exile it. Return it to the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking at the beginning of the declare attacker step on your next turn. No.
Well, interesting. The only thing I found out that I saw as even potentially interesting that is obviously swing to attack with it. It gets exiled in your next main phase on the first main phase on your next turn. Wipe the board. Your opponent's now got a big 5/9 to deal with. But it's not great.
But that requires you to every single turn have remove like a wrath, and unless your deck is this guy and like 35 land and the rest wraths.
He's strange.
Yeah, this is just bad. It's just a bad creature. If you think it's good, it's a trap.
Isn't he the first rare turtle?
He might be. The only upside I see to this is that you can start making Mutant Ninja Turtle decks.
Yeah, I've already covered that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is literally the only reason
Master Biomancer and whatever imposter.
Yeah, there we go. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go with that.
There's one I wanted to mention. Sorry.
Yeah, carry on.
There's one I want to mention. I can't remember if this was mentioned last week, but it's a flying crane technique.
Oh.
If it was mentioned last week, I apologise.
It wasn't, I don't think, but the card makes me sad. It was the final nail in the coffin as to which way they were taking the Jeskai. The Jeskai isn't control, as it bloody well should be. It's a tempo build, and it's a bad tempo build. It is awful. Especially, it's 6 mana to give your guys flying and double strike. It's barely worth it, frankly.
Yeah, apart from until you're playing Rohan of the Fomori.
Oh, no. Yeah,
no. Yeah. You hit them once with Rohan. You attack them again. They can't block. Suddenly, he becomes a flying crane, shouts "Waaaaa!" and then kills them.
You just want to mention Ruhan. That's all you want to do.
Rohan. Yeah, I do like mentioning Rohan because for the last two episodes, there's something I've wanted to say and I haven't had a chance to say it. So I wheedled this card in just so I could go Rohan Crush, and now he can add Waaaaa to it.
Oh, right. I think that's everything. I think we should all move on and lead our own lives elsewhere, away from all that. Right, guys.
I'm broken.
Thank you very much for listening to us this week. Maybe next week we'll be a bit more sane and we won't half kill ourselves through hatred or shouting about Ruhan partway through.